Hello everyone. In this tutorial, you're going to learn how you can fully control the access of different user roles in WordPress. We all know that in WordPress, we're given 5 default user roles: admin, editor, author, contributor, and subscriber. But what if we want to add more roles or even customize the existing ones? You can totally do that after you finish watching this tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to show you what plugins you need to install, a quick walkthrough of those plugins, their functionalities, how to create a customized role, and some sample scenarios, the issues, and how you can solve. Please pause this part if you want to have a closer look. Now let's begin with the first step, which is to install the two PublishPress plugins, the capabilities and permissions plugin. As you can see, I have already installed and activated these two plugins. To give you a general idea, the capabilities plugin is used to create role, edit role, or give a general access to different sections of WordPress. But if you want more specific control or advanced access control, then you need to use the PublishPress permissions. Let's not confuse you now. At the end, it should make sense. So please watch the full tutorial. So the first step is done. Now let's move on to the second one. I will give you a quick walkthrough of the two plugins and their functionalities. After installing these plugins, you will see these two sections. Let's head over to the capabilities and click on the roles subsection. Here you can add, edit, or even duplicate the existing roles. Let's head over to the capabilities subsection. Here you can customize or give general access to different user roles. Here you can select the user roles. As you can see, I have some additional ones because I have experimented in this plugin. We're going to focus on three tabs: editing, deletion, and taxonomies. If I'm going to cover all the topics, it's going to be a huge tutorial. So in this tutorial, we're just going to focus on these three: editing, deletion, taxonomy. Let's explain all the columns here, and you can see the explanation by just hovering over it. But anyways, let me just quickly go through them. This editing column indicates whether a user can even view the particular post section, post, pages, or product. If I remove or uncheck this edit from posts, the user can't even see the posts section. The create indicates whether a user can create post, page, or product. Publish indicates whether he can publish post, page, or product. Edit published indicates whether a user can edit the already published, the existing post, page, or products. And this usually indicates whether he can edit his own post, page, or product. And this edit others, it indicates whether he can edit the post, page, or products that is created by another user, other user. This edit private indicates whether a user can edit post, page, or product with private visibility. This deleting tab is easier to understand if you have already understood the editing tab. This delete published indicates whether he can delete the existing post, page, or product. The delete others indicates whether he can delete post, page, or product that is created by other users. And also you need to check this option if you only want, for example, the user to delete his own post. Then you need to keep it checked. The delete private indicates whether the user can delete the post page or product with private visibility. In this taxonomies tab, we can control the access of users who can manage the categories or tags. This manage column indicates whether a user can even view the categories or tags section. The edit indicates whether the user can edit or create product or category. Assign indicates whether he can assign an existing category or tag. Delete indicates whether he can delete them. Also, I should mention that before you move on to this section, you need to turn on a few or check some settings. First, let's click on this unique capabilities for post types. Let's open this accordion, and you can see I have this create column because I already checked this option. If you don't, this section create sub column will be disabled. So make sure to check this. Let's close this accordion. And below it has unique capabilities for taxonomies and detailed capabilities for taxonomies. Let's open them and make sure the product categories and product tags are selected here. After you're done, click on update. And if you don't check this two options, the taxonomies in the taxonomies tab, the edit, assign, and delete columns will be disabled. So make sure to check them. Now let's go to the permissions plugin. As I have already told you, the permissions plugin is a bit advanced. You can give specific permission to specific users or specific roles. For example, if I want to edit this new role, I'll click on the edit, and I can set specific permissions to this role. For example, I can select any post type. Let's select the page. And let's say I want this role, the users with this role, only to be able to edit the shop page. Then what I need to select is here, select the edit, select limit to, and select shop here. This way you can see we are saying specifically that this user with that role can edit the shop page only. We couldn't do that in the capabilities plugin, but using this PublishPress permission plugin, we can do this advanced functionality. I hope you already got the basic idea of these two plugins. Now let me show you how you can create a new role with the capabilities plugin. To create a new role, head over to the capabilities roles subsection. You can create a new role, or you can create a duplicate of the existing role. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a copy of the subscriber role. I'm going to name it test role. You can give it any slug. I'm going to give it test role slug. Also, head over to the WooCommerce tab and ensure this option is checked. This ensures that the user with this role can view the admin dashboard area or the WordPress backend. After you're done, click on the create role. And let's see all the roles. And you can see the test role is created. And we can assign this to any user. Let's load all the users. I have already created a test user. Let's edit this user and give him this test role row. And click on update user. That's how you can create a new role and assign this role to any user. I hope creating the new role part is clear to you now. Now let's see some sample scenarios and check if we can achieve those by implementing the PublishPress plugins. For example, we're going to see if we can restrict the access to pages or posts for some users, or maybe we will restrict their access to publish the post, but they can create them, and so on and so forth. We're going to see some different scenarios. I have divided this section into three parts: pages or posts, products, and product categories. First, let's see the pages or posts. And the first one is restricting the access to pages or posts, meaning that they won't be able to even view the pages or posts section. Let's see how we can do that with PublishPress capabilities plugin. I'm in the users section. Here, please notice these two users. The Lab 15 user has the administrator role, and this test user, which I showed just a moment ago, has the test role. In this window, I'm logged in as the administrator, the Lab 15 user. On the right hand, I'm going to quickly log in as the test user. So let me clarify again. On the left window, I'm logged in as the admin. And on the right, I'm logged in as the test user. This test user currently doesn't have any permission on any of the section, but this admin has permission to basically do everything. So let's go to the capabilities subsection. Let's select the test role, and just to test it out, let's give him all the permission. He can manage the post pages, products, delete them too, as well as the product categories and tags. Save the changes. And now let's refresh this page here. As you can see, he has all the permissions. Now let's restrict his access to this pages section. How can we do that? All we need to do is head over to the editing tab and uncheck this option. Let's save it. Refresh this page. We can no longer see the pages section. So we have removed his access to view the whole pages section. We have completed the first task. Now let's try to do the second one, which is to allow the user to create new page, but restrict his ability to publish that. Let's give back the user its editing or managing access for the pages section. Let's refresh this page. And now this user can view and edit the pages, as well as add new page. So let's click here. Let's try to add a sample page. Let's call it testing page. Click on publish. And here we can publish this page, but that's what we want to restrict. We want the user to be able to create new page, but he won't be able to publish it. So let's cancel it for now. Go back to Home Pages section. And now let's remove his access to publish the page. Save changes. Let's refresh this page and click on the add new page again. Let's give it a name. Testing page. Let's click on the publish button. And now it says submit for review. So previously it said publish, now it's saying submit for review. So we have removed his access to publish a post. Now let's move on to the next one, where we're restricting the user to delete the pages, but he can edit them. As we can see, the user is able to edit and delete any of the pages. What we want is to keep his editing access but remove his deleting access. So in order to do that, we need to go to the deletion tab and just remove his deleting access. Save the changes. Let's refresh the page. And now the user can only edit. The deleting access is removed. Now let's move on to the next one where the user is only able to delete his own page. He is not able to delete the pages that is created by others. Currently, the test user is not able to delete any of the pages. To achieve the task we're given, we need to enable two options. First, the delete option and the delete published option. We're going to keep the delete others option unchecked. Let's save it. Let's increase the width here. So before refreshing the page, we can see that the test user created these two pages. This test page and testing page. Currently, he is not able to delete any of the page. Let's refresh the page now. And he still can't delete the pages that is created by other users. But for the two pages that he himself created, he can delete them. Similar to the previous task, we want to restrict the ability of the user to edit other people's pages. He can only edit his own page. As you can see, this user now can edit all the pages he himself created and pages that is created by other users. Now let's head over to the editing tab. Let's uncheck this edit others option. Save the changes. Let's increase the width of this page. Let's refresh it. Let's head over to the all section. And we can see that the user is only able to edit two pages, the pages that he himself created. For other pages, he can only view them, but he cannot edit, except for this two pages. With that, the final task is done. I have only shown you the pages section, but for the posts, you need to do the same thing, and you will achieve the same outcome. So we can mark this section as completed. Moving on to the products section, we also need to do the same thing, but I've kept it separate because this section is quite important for many of the websites. So let me show you the steps again. First, let's accomplish the first task, which is to restrict the access to the products. As we can see, this test user is able to edit the products. He can view product section, but we want to restrict this access. To do that, we just need to uncheck this edit option from products. Let's save the changes. Let's refresh the page now. Now he doesn't have the permission to view this page. Now let's move on to the next one, where the user is able to create new products, but he is restricted to publish the product. At the moment, when the test user tries to add a new product, he can publish it. But let's remove or uncheck this publish option from the products. Let's save the changes. Let's click on this add new button again. If we scroll down, we can see that he can no longer publish but submit it for review. Now let's move on to the next one, where the user is only able to edit the products but not delete them. At the moment, as we can see, the user is able to both edit and delete any product. To remove the deleting access, we need to head over to the deletion tab and remove the deleting access. Let's save the changes. Let's refresh the page. And now the user is only able to edit the product. Now let's move on to the next one, where the user is only able to delete his own product only, not others. To achieve that, we need to check two options, the delete option and the delete published option. We need to keep the delete others option unchecked. Let's save it. Let's increase the width of this page. And currently we can see that the user is not able to edit any of the product, not even the product he himself created. Now let's refresh the page. Currently he still cannot edit the page in the product that is created by other users, but the product that he himself created, this test product, he can delete it. Now the final one, where the user is only able to edit his own product. To achieve that, we need to head over to the editing tab. We need to uncheck the edit others option. Let's save it. Let's increase the width of this page. Currently, the user is able to edit all of the products, including others' products. Now let's refresh the page. Let's go to the all tab, all section. He is not able to edit the products that is created by other users. He can only view them. He can only edit his own product, the test product. With that, the product section is done. Now let's move on to the product categories. The first task is to restrict the access to product categories section. Currently, the test user is able to view the categories section. In order to restrict him accessing this page, head over to the taxonomies tab and uncheck the product categories manage column, manage option. Let's save the changes. Let's refresh the page. The user cannot no longer access it. The first one is done. The second one is where the user can only edit the categories, but he cannot delete them. Currently, the user is able to both edit and delete any category. In order to remove his deleting access, just uncheck the delete option. Save the changes. Refresh the page. Let's scroll down. Now he can only edit, but he cannot delete. Now let's move on to the next one, where the user cannot edit any existing category or create new categories. He is only allowed to assign a product to a category. Let's head over to the all products section. Let's click on the edit option on any of the product. We can see that we can assign any of the product to any category. Also, we can create a new category. If I head over to the categories section, this user is allowed to create any category as well as edit any of the existing category. In order to achieve the task we're given, we need to keep these two options checked, assign and manage, and keep the edit option unchecked. Let's save the changes. Let's refresh the page. This user can no longer edit the existing categories as well as add new categories. Let's head over to the all products page. Let's click on any of the products edit option. Let's scroll down. We can no longer see the add new category, but the user is only able to assign any of the product to any category. Now we're only left with the last task, where we will only allow the user to edit specific categories and the products of those categories. Let's give you an example for a better understanding. At the moment I'm logged in with the test user, he currently has the access to edit all the categories. But what we want in this task is to restrict the user or limit the user to certain categories and its products. For example, I want to restrict the user to be only able to edit this clothing category and its child categories. So the user can only edit the clothing parent category and hoodies and t-shirts child category. The others he cannot edit. Also, not just the category, he is only able to edit the products that are in that category. So the user will be able to edit this product, but not these products because they do not fall under the clothing category. For this task, we can no longer just rely on the PublishPress capabilities plugin, because in the PublishPress capabilities plugin, we can either give the user the access to edit all the categories or not. We cannot specify which categories or which products the user can edit. So for that, we need to rely on PublishPress permissions. But before jumping on to the PublishPress permission settings, we need to ensure the editing options for products as well as product categories are checked, because we're going to limit the user to certain or specific categories and products. But before that, we need to ensure that they can already access all of the products and categories. Then we're going to limit them. It's going to make sense later when we see the outcome. Let's save the changes and head over to the permissions section. Now let's edit the test role. Click on the edit option. Head over to this tab, set specific permission. First, let's limit the user on categories. Select the last option, turn manage. Let's select the limit to option. Keep it as product categories. Check the sub product categories option and select the clothing and click on add select. It's added here. We need to restrict the user or limit the user on products as well. So select the product option. We want to select the edit option, limit to, then select product category and make sure the sub product categories is selected. Then select the clothing option. Click on add select. So these are the two options we're limiting to. We're limiting the user to only be able to access the clothing category and its subcategories as well as the products that is in that category. Now let's save the permissions. As we can see, both of these permissions are saved. I'm back to the test user window. Let's head over to the category subpage. And we can see the user can only view the clothing and its child categories, and he can edit them. Let's head over to the all product section. And also here he is only able to edit the products that fall into these categories, the clothing and its child categories. With that, all of the tasks are done. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. Thank you.